Hello, this is Steve Schmidt, Web Advisor at Effect Web Agency, and wanted to show you just quick how to set up your goals inside of Google Analytics. And most of the time people ask, well, what do you do with these goals when they're set up? And it's pretty simple really. Once you define these goals, you're going to be able to measure results towards those goals, like how many visitors reach those goals, or which visitors who reach those goals, where do they come from, and allows you to understand what kind of results you're getting and even know your ROI if you get that specific with it. And also, once you have this measuring stick in place, you'll be able to make some changes and compare your results to your prior results and work to improve the performance of your website. So this is actually pretty simple to set this up. So go ahead and get logged into Google Analytics at google.com/analytics. Once you're logged into Google Analytics, go and click on your account. And when you get into your account, go up here and just click on Admin. At that point, you'll see a screen that looks like this. Over in the third column, go ahead and click on Goals. Then you'll see a screen that lists out whatever goals you might have set up in there. If you don't have any goals, you just wouldn't have these rows here. So then go ahead and click on New Goal. What I'm going to do here is show you how to set up a simple, what they call a destination goal. That means if somebody reaches this destination URL or page, it will count it as a goal. So normally what you would do is you would make this destination goal like the thank you page after filling out a form, or some kind of page that they reach if they do something special. So at this point we can go ahead and type in the name of our goal, and you can call this whatever you would like. I'd probably keep it sort of to a short name so it fits in the reports. You can use whatever characters you want. What I tend to do is I'll put in the URL of the thing I'm tracking just so that it's crystal clear to me, what page I'm calling the goal. So in my case it might look like this, /my page if that's my goal page. Then I'll select destination and click the next step. Then what we'll see are the goal details. And what we want to do under destination is select equals to for my URL. So then we'll enter your URL in here, starting with a slash. And a slash, what that means is you're starting after your domain name. So if it's just like in this example here, if your domain name is example.com/thankyou, then putting /thankyou is all you need to do. You don't need to type in your whole domain name or anything. Just everything after the domain name or the .com. So in my case, I just happen to have my URL the same exact thing as my name. Those can be different. Your name can be anything you want, but this does need to be the URL of your page. If you drop down that equals to box, you'll see that there's other options in there like begins with. So let's say you had a catalog or some other kind of directory on your website that had a bunch of other pages in it, and you wanted to make this goal track whenever somebody goes to one of those pages inside that folder. What you could do then is just select begins with, type in the URL of the folder, and this goal would be matched anytime somebody goes to a URL that starts with what you type in here. So that's another helpful way to set up a goal. Once you're ready to save the goal, just scroll down and click the Create Goal button down here at the bottom. Now keep in mind that once you create a goal, there's currently no way to delete a goal. It'll always be there. You can turn it off though if you don't want it to show up in your reports anymore. It's also worth noting that if this is a URL that's been set up for a while, and you may have, if you've already had people probably using that URL you've put in here, you can click Verify down here and it'll tell you how many people in the last 7 days have reached it. That's a way that you can verify whether or not the goal is set up correctly. If nobody's visited this URL before and it's brand new, really the only way to make sure that it's set up correctly is just to try back in a few days or a day or whatever after somebody for sure has probably gone to that page, and just make sure that it is tracking in your reports. Or you can simply come back to this page here for goals and then see under past 7 days, if it has been tracking. If you're wondering how you might use these goals effectively and which reports inside of Google Analytics may be the most helpful for you, I encourage you to download our Effective Website Toolkit. If you go to effectwebagency.com/kit, you'll get the details on what is in this kit. There's 10 tools to help you plan and refresh your website to be much more effective. And at the bottom of this kit, there are 3 pages on the most helpful Google Analytics reports that we've found in Google Analytics. So the first one being channels, which does use your goal that you just set up. So for example, with this channels report, you'll be able to see which channel of traffic or source of traffic is most effective at bringing people that reach your goal. And there's other things in this kit as well like that. So enjoy, and I hope you're able to master setting up your goals and get on your way to measuring your results. Thank you.